Hello, these are SolidWorks 2016 tutorials, and in this video we'll talk about this tab here called Design Library and Toolbox. So let's just click on Toolbox and let's click on Add in now. So in SolidWorks you have this design library that contains parts that are already built, and you can just specify some parameters to change them. So when you open your toolbox, you can go through these different standards that are used widely in the world. And for example, ANSI is an American standard, DIN is German standard, ISO is kinda standard for world, etc. Now the reason we use standards, as you know, is to have same parts in different machines, for example, and also to, let's say, to have serial production of specific parts. So if we click here on ANSI inch, we can see that we can choose between different, let's say, parts. So you can either create bearings, bolts and screws, keys, nuts, and you can also add structural members like aluminum and steel structural members. So let's just open this, and you can add different profiles. Let's just go back. Also you can add bearings, so you can add ball bearings, roller bearing, etc. So it's really easy to create some of these parts, and if you need them, so you don't have to build models. They are predefined and they already have everything defined. So let's just right click here and click on create part, and now we will create our instrument ball bearing. Okay, so you get this note here that it's read-only part, because it's not recommended to change these parts in SolidWorks library. You can mess things up, and these are created by standard. Now if we go to the left, we can configure our component, and we can choose different things. For example, number of balls. Also you can change size. Just click here, so it's increased, and as you can see in bearings, balls are presented like this. So we see some of properties of the size we chose. So let's say this one, and we can click on simplified or detailed, and now we will see all the balls that we can see. But let's also add cage just for showing purposes. So this is how it actually looks like. But for SolidWorks to work faster, we can use simplified method of display, and we will get faster rebuild times. So let's just click OK, and there you have your bearing. Now on the left side you can see just some of the features that were used to create this bearing. Now as you know, if we move this line up or down, we can see in detail what feature was built first, etc. Let's just close this and let's go back to our design library. Now let's go to ANSI inch and click on power transmission. So in here you can see that we can create chain sprockets, timing belt pulleys, or gears. So I just wanted to enter gears, and we can just choose some of these, so we can create these bevel gears or these spur gears, helical, etc. We can also create rack. Now there are other gears, as you know, for example cycloidal, that are used in watches. So we have just some basic parts here that can be created by standards. So let's just click on create part, and now you can see that for gears we can change diametral pitch. So let's just increase this, that's this dimension here. We can change number of teeth, pressure angle. As you know, by standard there are usually these two pressure angles. Also you can change face width, so that's this thickness. Okay, we can also add hub on one side or on both sides, and add parameter as well. We can change this nominal shaft diameter. We can add keyway, let's say rectangular 1. So this is pretty useful, and it's really easy to create small mechanisms by using this toolbox. Now, as you can see, first we created this holding sketch. It contains a lot of data. So basically it creates base for creation of this part, and then we used revolve. So let's just open this and see our sketch. Okay, and then we used tooth cut. So if we go to this, we can see these dimensions and these different diameters that were used. Let's just click on edit sketch, and let's just enter some of these. If we want to change anything, let's just okay. So we need to save it first and then change it. Anyway, we can see these equations that are used. I click on manage equations, and you can see some of them and the way they calculate this. So basically you have this in different books about gears, for example, and you can use these formulas to create your gears. Also, if you want to, you can, let's just go back to ANSI inch, and let's just go to bolt and screws. Now this has a lot of different things that you can use. So you can create countersunk head bolts, or bolts with hex head, or lag screws, machine screws, etc. Let's just use this heavy hex bolt. Okay, let's just right click and create part, and again you can assign the size of your bolt, increase length. Let's just add it a bit more like that, and you can create thread, so you can create it simplified. So basically you can see almost nothing, just this small slope. You can use cosmetic. As you know, you can add this by going to insert annotation and cosmetic thread, or you can use this schematic. So this is basically how, now this is just a small scheme that I created because just to save time of rebuild time. So let's just choose this cosmetic and click OK. Now basically whatever you need you can find here in the toolbox. So you can use pins, you can add O-rings, nuts as well, so let's just add nut. Let's just click, yep. So as you can see, we can add these and just modify them if we want to. So basically that's how you use your toolbox, and if you go more into that, you can find a lot of things already created and you don't have to bother by creating everything by yourself. Now let's just close this, and that's it.